Topic number 2. Christine and Nick, what's the perfect DLC?
Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmare, 10 out of 10, IGN.com.
You reviewed that. That's a good one.
I did
That's a good
review
one.
that.
That's a good point. That's a perfect one. And Nick, how do you feel about this?
How do I feel about
You don't have to pick
the perfect
one.
DLC?
What is the perfect DLC for you?
No DLC.
Really?
Wow.
I don't want it.
I don't
Once I'm done, like I finished Arkham, I saw the 1989 Batsuit, I saw the Batmobile from the Tim Burton movie. I was like, that looks cool.
Why won't you give them the $4 or whatever
It
they
depends
want?
on
I'm already
the
done with the
game.
game. I beat the game. It's
See,
fine. I'm
you're
done.
not, you don't get, I think, is into, like, I don't get this way about every game.
Right,
But
right,
there are
sure,
those specific, like Witcher. Super excited about those expansion packs.
Well, here,
Right.
time
I know
out.
nothing about them.
This is piggybacking this. I'm bringing this topic up because of just as why I'm putting it into our popular mindset right now. Today, the whole Dragon Age Inquisition thing, the DLC on Kotaku is 2 years later. So they wrote here. So you and your companions saved the continent of Thetis.
Yeah.
Thetis? I said it right? That's a new one. I never say anything right. From certain doom. What have you done for them lately? Find out September 8th, Trespasser, a downloadable epilogue for Dragon Age Inquisition that picks up 2 years after the main story ends. What happens to the world-saving organization when the world no longer needs saving? That's the theme being explored in Trespasser, the final single-player DLC for BioWare's role-playing epic game. And then it goes da-da-da-da-da.
I'm excited.
This is also today they announced Uncharted's release date, March 13th.
18th, I thought.
Damn it. You're probably right. I'm bad at that stuff. Anyways, more importantly, they also dropped the news in there that there's going to be for the first time ever single player DLC for Uncharted.
I was saying in the Twitch chat that I was hoping it would be a therapy session between Elena and Drake.
Can
got
they
some
just
shit.
be happy?
They gotta get some
Can
shit
they
they gotta
just
work
be
out.
happy? Every fucking time this couple's together in these games, something horrible's happening. Can they just be happy together?
That's why
Nick?
they need some
Can
therapy.
we open up and they're happy, Nick? They don't lie to each other.
I don't lie to my wife about anything. It scares
Good.
her. My wife has this new thing. She's like, she asked me this question. She's like, do I need to be worried about this? I'm like, no. Because I'll let her know if she has to be worried about anything ever.
What have you told her about
what?
before? Like
Oh,
when
just
we're getting ready to
What
quit?
does she need to worry about?
Partying, quitting, going, like,
Signing people's bras.
Were any of those
signing
yes?
people's bras is a perfect example of them. And she was like, do I need to be worried about any of this? I'm like, no. She's like, okay. That's it.
Cool.
No, I mean, she married me for Christ's sake.
Did she know
She knew what she was getting
Her
herself.
life's
She knew she fucked
ruined.
But yeah, I mean, look,
You're
I
crazy. No DLC.
Well, okay, so for me,
Yeah.
like, I don't know because you have to understand. I'm used to 2.5 to 2.5 hour experiences. That's how I like my entertainment,
Right.
But because of movies, because of TV, because of film. Even when I watch a TV show or like a 30-minute like episodic show,
Sure.
I'll watch like 4 of them and then I'm done. Like I gotta go on to something else. My brain isn't in the attention span.
ADD.
for it.
Like
So you're talking
crazy.
about when you're talking about was it Dragon Age that we were just
Yeah.
talking about? How long was that game? How long did you play that game for? Because you were a big.
It's
I
hard
thought you were a big
because-
Guild Wars fan, but you were a big Dragon Age fan, right?
I mean, I'm
both.
fans of all of the things.
Of all of the
There's
anything
some
that has
kind
a
of fucking
All of the
sword and
fantasy
dragon with a
things I'm
magic.
into.
It's fucking
So
hard.
let's take Dragon Age, right? How many hours approximate did you think you put into that?
Here's the thing.
that series.
The game clock, I think, was around 100 hours. However, I stopped and restarted to get my character right about 10 times. And I played a few hours of each of those characters
Okay.
before I realized I didn't like them.
And real quick, what's
understandable.
your Guild Wars game clock at?
1,100 hours.
Holy fuck! Holy shit! How many hours are in a year? Can someone tell us in the comments? Like that's. I mean, look again. I'm not in any way, shape, or form criticizing you for this. That is how you want to spend your time, and you love that, and that is fucking awesome. And I can't take that away from you because let's be perfectly honest. I've watched all of the seasons of Psych, so I have no leg to
I
stand
used to
on as
watch
far as this.
Psych.
I love Psych, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not judging you for how you choose to spend your time. It's just for me. I get like we were talking about Deus Ex earlier, right? Because
Yeah.
they announced
The
release
pre-order
date-
campaign.
pre-order
thing,
campaign.
yeah,
for
augment your pre-order. You see this today?
Sort of on your chat, but I could
Total
quite hear
marketing
it was-
move of like, yeah, you pre-order the game and you get one. You can pick from you're in tier 1 already. Then so pick from one of these 3 or 4 bonuses, right? And then if enough people we pre-order, we unlock tier 2 where you pick from these things, and and finally tier 5 is the game comes out
By
4 days early.
When is the cutoff?
I assume 5 days before the game comes out.
Yeah.
Really?
And we don't know.
I
what
don't know.
And it's percentage based, not.
And they're not
dollar-based,
high.
so-
They're showing the number, so it's got to be like I guarantee they're gonna hit that pre-order number, but I guarantee 3 days beforehand, before the cutoff, they're gonna be like, "We're so close, everybody pre-order, please."
And then
you
they're
get
just
all
gonna
these
be like,
bonuses.
and then regardless of whether or not people actually play it, they'll just artificially bump those numbers up.
Well, we don't know the numbers.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're
'Cause you
controlling
can
the
do that, 'cause
percentages.
you can be like, whoa, oh, it just magically went to
Oh,
100%.
yeah,
yeah,
Good
exactly.
job, everybody.
But you were saying, you
Well,
want to
so,
play that game. You like the first game.
I like the game. I liked it, but for me, with the way our lives are, with these longer experiences like these RPGs or any of these games that have side quests and leveling systems, things like that, I just forget where I'm at. Like I leave for 2 weeks or 3 weeks to go to Vegas and TwitchCon and PAX and all these other things that are happening, and I come back and I'm like, all right, I know my character is Adam Jensen. What the fuck am I doing? What was I supposed to be
Well,
doing
the
right
thing
now?
that they've started doing in
Shit.
games now, Witcher did this, and it was annoying as hell for me because I was playing it all at once.
Right.
So it started pissing me off. But I understand why they did it, is they basically do a recap literally every time you load into a different area.
Oh, that's
and
smart.
It's smart, but it's annoying as hell
you're
when
just
you
jumping
when you
around for
are
15
like
hours.
marathoning something. You're like,
Sure.
just like fucking know where I am. Thank you. But yeah, if you had left it for a weekend and then needed to come back, you'd be like, oh, great, thanks.
But see
I think
that-
Batman did it. Did they do something?
They had
similar?
screens. They
Did
had a screen
something,
that would be
yeah.
They had a
like,
screen that would tell you what happened,
Scarecrow's doing such and such. Go
So I
check
feel
it
like
out.
it's a thing that people are starting to work in, especially for the longer experiences, because they know, like, if you
It's hard
if
to
you
keep
put it
track of
down,
what's
it's
going on.
hard.
Right.
Like the moment you put a game down, like I feel like the
How many? I
the
mean, so
odds of you
this is an
the
issue I
list
had
that
with-
goes
finishing
on.
it,
Catherine.
Catherine
Tried to pick Catherine back up after a week
Yes.
off. I was
Dude,
like, oh,
Mass Effect
Yeah,
2.
same.
Try to pick that up. I was like, people were like, oh, the story in that was so great. I was like, I have no idea what the story was because I played it over 3 months. I mean, I know there was like an element 0. I know you were able to go around the universe, and I mined planets for like 4 fucking hours. They're amazing, but there was a complaint that Colin had with The Witcher was that he loved it, but there was too many. He felt like he was constantly being bombarded by side quests.
But here's the problem with Colin is that, and he said this, so I'm not talking shit. But
don't get shot.
He was like, I have to get every side quest done before the main
does
mission,
have that
which is
completionist
not
attitude.
how you play that game at
No.
all. You do not level up that way. You don't get it really that much more entertainment. Like that's not how you play the game. The side quests you're supposed to just sprinkle in along the way. But if you don't do the main quest, you're like never gonna level up. It's gonna take you 10,000 years.
Right.
Yeah,
And then you're gonna be frustrated because you feel like you're not progressing, which is what I think happened with him.
Yeah.
And then he put
Yeah.
it down. And like I
well,
understand
it becomes
that, but-
overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
It's like when your
But
friends
I did
constantly
almost all the side quests and I finished that game.
and you were just totally fine with it. You were like,
Yeah,
this
because
is
I
good
did it
experience.
properly, which is that I wasn't trying to do all the side quests at once.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing them as I went along. So it didn't feel as like as consuming.
Right,
As
it
just
wasn't as-
looking at a list of
See,
side quests and
that's
going,
to
oh
me, it's
shit, I have to
like-
do everything before I can move on.
Same with Dying Light, right? At Dying
Mm-hmm.
Light, I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm really getting into this, and like I'm leveling up a little bit, and this is great. And then you go to one of the towers that you're like, the headquarters that you're supposed to kind of be based out of, and one of the guys is like, hey, come here. You want to help me move? And I'm like, no, I don't want to fucking help you
In
move.
real
And to me,
life, I
that's
don't
what
wanna
all
move,
side
yeah.
quests are. It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
dudes coming out to you and be like, hey, bro, you
Yeah.
got some free time? Help me fucking move. And I'm like, no, I don't want to help you move.
I gotta stop these zombies, man.
I'm like, no, man.
I
Some
think
guys like,
the
give me a
Witcher
gun. I'm
side
like, give
quests are really
yourself a
interesting,
gun.
though.
I mean, I haven't played The Witcher, so I don't know.
know.
But I mean, it was the same for me. It's the same with me for that. It's the same with me for Dark Knight, where it's like with Arkham City, I was like, Zaz was going around killing everyone. I'm like, good for you, bro.
I hated those
You killed
phone
everyone.
calls.
Yeah, like the phone kept ringing. Eventually, the phone would ring, and I'm like,
I had so much stress
have
at
to get
those
this.
like 2 minutes of trying to
Yeah,
get
trying
there.
to
I
get
was
there in
like,
time.
It's too
just
much.
go, Batman, go! God damn it! Where's the magic fly button that makes you go 10,000 times faster than this?
you have to level up to it by
I
doing
know.
50
I
side
didn't
quests.
do that. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, God damn it, you're so
Hey,
slow,
it's me,
Batman.
Nightwing. Batman, help me move.
Hey, man, you free right now?
are
I
following
got this
your truck
couch. I got to
around.
get down to the
That
third
kind of
floor.
works.
Yeah, that's true.
But I liked those side quests because they had Nightwing.
All right, well, this isn't a side
Anyways.
quest conversation.
No, I
DLC.
just
For
felt
me,
like-
it's I want. This is what you're talking about a little bit on Colin and Greg is the fact that I want single player story DLC.
Sure.
I
Yes.
want more of what I already loved about
Sure,
a game.
sure.
Yes.
And so that's why, like, when they're like, Mass Effect 3 had tons of DLC for
the
online,
multiplayer.
and even Uncharted 2 and 3 did too. Stuff where it's like, all right, now we're doing this, put new trophies in, but it's all multiplayer. And I'm just like, that's not what I care about. Batman did it. They used to do it with challenge maps, and they still do.
Sure.
But then they did Batgirl this time around. And then when they said that, that's when I was like, here's my season. I'll buy
Yeah.
the season pass up front. I want
Right.
that. Plus, you're talking about more character-driven pieces later on.
Sure.
That won't be
But
as
I wonder
big.
sales numbers on that though.
I
Like,
don't.
I wonder if they choose. I mean, first off, they're trying to push the multiplayer because that's what typically people will continue to
Idiots.
play.
That's what gets people
Ruining
going.
it.
Yeah.
And-
Keeps them coming back for the experience.
Right,
yeah.
exactly. Versus a story experience that is finite. It has an end.
Yeah.
But the multiplayer technically doesn't have an end. Like,
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
just
yeah.
sit there and play with your friends as long as you want. So I
I get
understand
that.
them wanting to beef that up and make it more interesting as you
I
go
get
along.
that that's how money's made for them. Putting
Yeah.
out a new hat or a gun or a new item or a new map and all this stuff because people are still locked into it. But I prefer them to because I think it's not as bad now. I'd like to think most multiplayers put in games now because the team wants to make multiplayer games of some kind. But it was for a while where it was
literally everything.
How do we fight trade-ins? Fucking put multiplayer in it, and there was so many half-ass like Tomb Raider, the original Tomb Raider multiplayer. Like, what is this called?
Oh yeah, I forgot that even.
I don't mean this as a joke, but isn't that sort of how didn't Uncharted 3 have multiplayer?
So
is that kind of how that? Oh, is that?
That was. I mean, maybe that's where it started from, but people really do like that multiplayer,
really
and
like
it's
it?
good. It's one of the few ones I get into. You know what I mean?
I liked Mass Effect's multiplayer. I still haven't played Dragon Ages though.
And that's the thing is like for me to stop me from trading in a game. Not that I'm going to trade in any of my games because
most of mine are digital. So
yeah, exactly. That's the other point. But like if I was on the outside and you wanted me to stop from it, it's promising story DLC somewhere along. Like Last of Us, even when they were like Left Behind, they didn't call it Left Behind, but there's going to be something down the line. Like fuck yes, that's what you're great at. Keep doing that. I don't mind if you give multiplayer other things, but take care of this side of the business too. And that's why you get excited when you look at it and like talk about like even I think that's one of the reasons I like episodic gaming so much, like Telltale stuff, because I get to digest it, think about it, and move on, and then here it is again. And like sometimes it works against them. Like I would have bought Game of Thrones as one. I would have given them $60, right? But I played episode 1, and then episode 2 came. Like I didn't want to play this. You know what I mean? Like I figured out that it wasn't for me, and at that point you lose it. But
yeah, but that's very democratic, and that's the way it should go. That's the way it should be, right? Is they should be held responsible for the quality of their product, and that should be reflected in sales.
I don't think Game of Thrones is this good.
No, I mean I've heard that a lot. At least from the last 2 of you. But
recently there's been a lot of conversations.
Recently there's been a lot of people talking about that.
No, 2 people.
For me, I get why you guys like DLC, and I get why people like that. And if it's more of the thing you love. But for me, I love the idea that someone has made this experience for me, right? And I look forward to just going from start to finish with that experience, and then once it's done, that is how I judge the product. And then if there's more stuff later, it just doesn't do it for me.
See, that's why I like it when it's different. So like Left Behind had really nothing to do with the experience, or didn't take anything away from what you experienced in the Last of Us game. It was a side story, but based on one of the characters, and just kind of showed you a little bit more about who they were, which I thought was really good. Same thing with Undead Nightmare, Red Dead, like that. Red Dead is a complete experience. Undead Nightmare is a fucking crazy ass shit show of amazing things happening. Yeah. That have no sense being there, but that's why I loved it so much.
Right.
It was just like the thing that I loved, and a really crazy twist on it.
Sure, it's like a wild experience they can't give you.
Right. Like that would have made zero sense in the main
Festival
game.
of Blood for Infamous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you've made this world. Like, don't give up on it and start making one that'll be out in 4 years. Do something cool with what it is now. And I don't care if it's short. Colin underrated that game. Sucks.
Did he?
Can't spell ignorant. I don't know.
Yeah,
can't spell ignorant without IGN.
See well. To me, I think I always view them as sort of like, when there's like a TV show like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and they're like, log on to www.com/Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for the web companion.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not fucking watching the web companion.
Your second screen experience for The Walking Dead starts now. Like, fuck off.
It's
nice watch this show.
What's his name? Andrew Lincoln? Or he's like, they turn a camera on him. He's like, hey, what's up? That's it. That's all you get. You're like, oh, it's fucking Rick Ryan.
Hey, do you want to know how that biker torso lady in episode 1 of The Walking Dead came to be? Watch the webisodes.
You're like, I don't want to.
I kind of want to know, but I don't want to go on to.
I'd rather you just tell me right now. Be tell me it was an interstitial, like before you come back. It's like, hey, they do. I mean, actually, I'm giving the web companion.
We're just fucking
shit, but
no, I'm with you.
It's not the experience. It's not the meat, right?
I think you've gotten bad ones before then, because like for me, the ones that I love are the ones that we've made this world and let's do something cool with it and still do something still inside of it.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, again, but to me, it's you put it in terms of movies. It's like the story's done for me. The experience is done for me.
But there can be a new story.
Yeah, there can. But I'll wait for the sequel.
Red Dead Redemption and then go play Undead Nightmare.
I'm not gonna play either.
Yes, you are.
They're too fucking long.
Red Dead
Nightmare is short.
The Undead Nightmare DLC.
Redemption was long though.
Yeah, Redemption's really long. Everybody gets tired right around Mexico. That's when I took a month break or 2 or whatever, and then I came back. Yeah.
No, I powered through that shit. You go.
Don't get me wrong. Red Dead was awesome. It's amazing. That's one of those ones I wish they would say, "Here's an HD collection of my car," or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Next gen version of it or whatever.
Well, maybe Xbone, backwards compatibility.
Xbox? No, I'm not gonna fucking no. Okay. I need to have souped up trophies on it now.
Okay.
I don't want to have this none of this stuff. I think DLC is good. I think it's a bad rap. I don't mind day one DLC either, and I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about DLC that is not Prince of Persia. Nolan North Prince of Persia DLC. Remember this?
No.
The game ended and they put out the real ending as a fucking DLC.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can burn in hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
And that's the thing is, like, going back to the first topic of how the industry's changed, I feel we've seen the industry burn itself with this before, and now they're much better about it in terms of like, okay, what's up?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an industry that does tend to learn from the community.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not sure that movies or TV really
No,
do.
because you don't have the opportunity to fix shit. Right, so that's what's cool about this industry is like, all right, and this is I don't want to slaughter this example, so I'll bring it up very lightly. Is like Mass Effect 3,
right?
People didn't like the ending, so they have the opportunity to be like, oh, here's something.
Oh, we left out these paintings at the end that really explain everything.
Right, but you know what I mean. Like if
I know, I was doing this face. You can't see him.
But you also have the opportunity to like, whereas you're watching a film, you're like, oh, that was kind of weird, right? Well, you can update that. Right.
Yeah.
Butterfly effect stuff.
You can have someone just go to, you can download something so that something's a little easier, a little better, a little cooler. You have the opportunity to kind of fix the plane while it's still in the air with video games.
They've actually updated The Witcher's combat, which is pretty interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And so that's a perfect example of like, that probably made it a lot better,
but
right?
I'm talking about more of like over the years versus on a single product.
Sure,
so like,
sure.
Taking anything, literally, I'm not that big into movies or TV, so
No.
I'm not sure, but
Nashville. We love Nashville.
We do love Nashville
too.
What up, Chip?
But do you see what I'm saying? Like, have them being like, oh, we did this TV show and everybody hated the X, Y, and Z about it. So now when we go pitch this other project, we'll fix those things. Like,
no, yeah, what you get a lot of times. Well, I would say it might be the same in games too. So what you get a lot of times in TV and film is that you get like the Big Bang Theory, and then everyone wants to make a Big Bang Theory, right?
Yeah, the
and
games
you're like,
do that
oh,
too.
that's great. And games do that too.
Yeah, open world. We have all these open world games hitting right now.
Literally, everybody make a Facebook game.
And then that went away. The
Yeah.
industry learned real quick that this isn't real.
But what I think that you see obviously in games is that there's a spirit of innovation that you don't see in TV just by nature of it being a digital thing, and you're coding and you're making art assets and you're doing all these things, and you are constantly forced to figure out how to optimize something for a platform that's ever changing. Whereas TV and film and video, I mean, you film something, that doesn't change that much, and that doesn't change that much, right? There's no hardware in that needs to be optimized for. So your brain and your team aren't constantly having to worry about that aspect of it. You're just worried about just the traditional aspects that really haven't changed that much in the last 80 years, I would think.
Yes.